Rising Grinsgrot, lutefisk, or reba sound familiar? No? Well, this pudding, fish, and pork are just a few of the wonderful things my Norwegian family enjoys during our yearly Christmas celebration. Along with enjoying other amazing food, we also take part in a few festive traditions and customs that I want to share with you all because the unique ways my family and culture celebrate Christmas might be new and interesting to you. We celebrate for 3 days, so I'll cover what we do over each of those days. It all begins on the 23rd of December, Little Christmas Eve, or Lille Julaften, as it's called in Norwegian. I have trouble saying it. This day is a day to spend with family and friends. We come together usually at my grandparents' house with my aunt and my cousins and my uncle. We eat dinner, nothing too fancy, and then we always spend a lot of time decorating the tree with lots of lights and homemade ornaments, including ones of little gnomes called Nis. We clean the house and prepare for the next day. It's fun being together and getting increasingly excited for the days to follow. We stay late and usually one of us kids has to drive home. But the next day, Christmas Eve, called Julaften, is when the celebration really begins. We start the day by opening one and only one gift. Most times I pick a smaller one to leave the bigger ones for Christmas Day. After that, we eat what is called kringle for breakfast, which is a sweet pastry, like a butter braid if you've had one of those before. We then get all cleaned up and dressed nicely for church. A buttoned shirt, tie, and nice pants are the acceptable attire. We meet the rest of my family there at church and then greet family, friends, and strangers alike. We spend the next hour and a half appreciating the love we have for one another and the love we have for God. Around 5 o'clock, church wraps up and the sound of 5 bells being rung dismisses us. We say our goodbyes and head back to my grandparents' house with the rest of my family. We talk and watch A Christmas Carol, which is a very prominent tradition, as my mom and grandma bring out the food. Appetizers include lutefisk, which is a white cod soaked in lye. I like only having it once a year. Once a year is enough. Pickled herring as well is the same kind of thing. Once a year is enough. And shrimp cocktail, my favorite. I love shrimp cocktail. The main course usually is spiral cut ham or pork belly called reba. It's super good, very traditional Norwegian dish. Dessert consists of caramel corn, my grandma's homemade caramel corn, homemade sugar cookies, and rice pudding. We call it rice pudding, but it is called rising Grinsgrot. It's rice pudding, and then you season it with, well, season is a weird word, but you season it with cinnamon and sugar, and it's super good. But my favorite dessert is lefse, which is homemade dough rolled with butter and sugar. It's basically just a tortilla filled with sugar and butter. It's very good. But after we eat, we open the rest of our presents. One by one, reading the cards attached, we pass around until none remain. Afterwards, we clean up, say our goodbyes, and head home for the night. Finally, Christmas morning comes. We sleep in late to recuperate from the night before. Today is less of a celebration, even though it is technically Christmas. We open the presents that our family has for ourselves that Santa or Nis brought for us. But it is nice because we just relax all day watching Christmas movies and eating leftover food. Not much else is exciting other than getting to spend the day with loved ones and doing a whole lot of nothing. So, in conclusion, our not-so-traditional Norwegian Christmas celebration consists of some Norwegian traditions and customs. It is 3 days of celebration with the main event on Julaften or Christmas Eve. These days of celebration are filled with delicious food like lefse and lutefisk, traditions like decorating with little gnomes, and most importantly, being with family and friends. So I hope this speech taught you something about me and my culture. Thanks for listening.